Hi, I am here to talk about everyone's favorite topic, and that is the year 2021. The year of not perfect vision. The year of, I thought this year was supposed to be better than last year. The year of, what was that? I need to forget about that. The year that we'd all like to forget, but we can't. That's not really how memory works unless you spontaneously get amnesia, in which case, how do I get some? This year, for me, crap. Good things happened. I had a nice summer. I had a nice summer. Okay, yeah. Everyone is like, 2020. That year sucked, objectively, and yes, it did. I'm not going to argue on that one with you. But creatively, that was a huge year for me. That was the year that I wrote the majority of my favorite novel that I've written. That was the year I've started the drafting process of like 5 other novels. I wrote 15,000 words in 3 weeks. I wrote so many short stories that I was proud of. I wrote a novella. I was kind of on fire because I just had so much time on my hand, and writing was my only coping mechanism. So what happened this year? Well, this year I finished my novel. That's true. I attempted to start editing it, and it fell flat on its face, and I now kind of have a building resentment towards it. I did do NaNoWriMo. I got to 40,000 words. I basically just didn't do the whole last week of it because I was so busy with other things. Schoolwork. I wrote my favorite short story I've ever written. That was the only short story I written this entire year, but at least I have one. Trying to think of things. Poetry. I guess I did write a ton of poetry this year. Last year, I wrote like none. I had no poetry because I was like super repressed with my emotions and I didn't know how to feel things. And this year, my emotions were like, hey, whoa, what if we just like join the party again? And I was like, well, what if you didn't? And they were like, yeah, we don't like you, so that happened, and I've been writing poetry, and I've been proud of it. But I still want a bigger project to work on. It's still my favorite thing, to work on something big that I can really invest myself in the characters. And I never got invested in the novel I was writing. I was writing it very fast. I was writing 2,000 to 2,500 words a day. And I still didn't make it because I'd have to take days off. I'd basically have days where all the school days, the weekdays, would be 13 hours. I'd leave home at 7 and I'd get home around 9. So what was I supposed to do then? I couldn't do anything. It wasn't fun. And this year has been really stressful. I have, as an artist, as a writer, have been blocked. Going into 2022, I have been very pessimistic. Its time is continuous. Like, it's not a new year, a new beginning, because that's not how I see it in my head. I see it as an arbitrary period of time, which I know is like super pretentious and annoying, but like, yeah. And I guess I just don't know what to do from here, since I do mark my accomplishments by year, and this year I have not felt like I am a writer. I felt like I've lost that part of my identity in writing. That's why I was posting a lot of videos about writing when I was passionate about it, but when I'm not, I just don't know what to say. What do I say to make it sound like I know what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. No one knows what they're doing, first of all, and second of all, it has to get better, but only if I like make an effort to get better. Like, this new year has put so many thoughts into my head. Like, what do I do now? How do I fix being totally lost and at a writer's block that I feel is bone deep? Have I lost my passion. That was a huge concern for me. I want to go into writing. I want to be a novelist. I want to do this for the rest of my life. What if I can't? What if I'm physically unable or mentally unable to get back into writing? That would be horrible. But I'm not. I love writing. I still want to dedicate my life to it. So what do I do now? Well, I've made some goals. And I figured I'd talk about it because this is physical documentation. I can do better, be better. I can be more in touch with what I want to do, with my life's passion. How dramatic that sounds. But I want to be. So here are some things that I want to do. I won't dwell on what I didn't accomplish, because I didn't accomplish a lot of what I wanted to. I wanted to have a full other draft of my novel from last year, In the Middle of Nowhere, and to be in the fine editing stages of it. Not even close. I'm at the beginning 30 pages of my rewrite, and I don't know what I want to do with it. But I don't want to focus on that, because simply put, there is no way to change the past. I can't go back and change that. And I will never be able to, no matter how much I think about it. So I'm not going to think about, or I'm not going to dwell on it. Of course I can be sad and disappointed, and I can wish that things were different, but I'm not going to get stuck in that, because if I get stuck in that, I'm not going to do anything in the future, and I'm just going to go in this big loop. I'm just going to be happy with what I can accomplish and be happy when I'm writing instead of focusing on what I didn't do. Next, this goes for my reading and my writing. I'm not gonna set goals, like, for quantity. Last year I was like, I want to read 100 books in the year. But then I said I wanted to read 15 books a month. 15 books a month, that's over 200 books in the year. And writing, I was like, I want to do this by then. Set deadlines are something that I'm going to have to deal with. And for a while I thought they helped me because they've fixed how I was doing. But then they again make me focus on how much I didn't accomplish. And when I'm dealing with school extracurriculars, I'm starting to look like at colleges, I have to work on my mental health. Like, it's not gonna happen. I don't need to do this as a teenager. I don't need to act like it's my career, because simply it's not. I have things I need to focus on. And setting deadlines is just gonna make myself feel horrible about myself when I don't hit them. And so I'm not gonna do that. It puts way too much pressure on me, and it takes the fun out of it. Like, this is fun. This is something I enjoy doing. Don't know what to tell you. However, I do want to try to do something writing related at least twice a week. I'm not going to put like a huge thing on it. I don't have to write a big chunk. And this is like for a bigger project that I'm going to work on. I don't have to do a big chunk. I don't have to write a chapter every time I sit down. But focusing on it, writing something about a character, writing a detail, like story outlining, adding a paragraph, like anything I can do, I want to do it because I want to be invested in it. And I know that if I want to be lenient with myself, but I also know that there's a lot of times where I'm just laying in bed and I'm like, I can be doing something right now. I just don't know what to do. And I can work on writing. Because, gotta be honest, writing slipped my mind a ton. There's been days where I haven't thought about it because I've been thinking about so much else. So I do want to work on stuff. And I think this would be a good way, and to give myself space and like the necessary guidelines. And fourthly, I really want to share my work. I've been really reserved about sharing my work because anxiety around it. Obviously, I don't want people to judge me, but also I do. Like, I want feedback. I want judgment. That's what writing's supposed to be. If people don't like it, then it's subjective. I've always been pretty good about that, so I don't know what my big fear is. I just want to get it out there. I want to enter like contests, writing contests. I want to share my work. I want to go to like a reading, maybe. I don't know. Just want to get out there more. I think because every time I share work, I get really euphoric about it. It feels so good, for lack of a better word. I just want to do it more. I really do. that was my last one. I just have a couple things to say after that. These aren't resolutions. I never liked having a New Year's resolution because people always stick to it for the first month and then drop it. These, I hesitate to even call them goals. They're just things that I want to do. My goal is to become more lenient with myself, and with doing that, find my writing and my passion for writing grow. These are simply ways to get to that, and things I think will personally help me. I won't even be mad at myself if I don't do these things. I just want an idea of what I want. If I do something completely different, that's fine. I just want to reach the end. You know? So these aren't resolutions. Especially because resolutions implies that there was ever, like, a problem. And I don't want to say that the amount of work I did last year isn't a problem, because I know I was going through a lot. And writing or forcing myself to write would not be what was best for me in that situation, you know? Am I making sense, or is this just a huge rant? That's the question. I think I also need to recognize that 2022, this big year, this big arbitrary period of time, is not going to fix everything. And if things do get fixed, if I do reach my goal, it's not because of 2022, it's because of me. I'm the person doing these things. And I could decide to start them tomorrow. I could decide to start them in October or March. Like, I don't know. It's really up to me and my schedule and everything else in my life, you know. Ultimately, this is not a thing to do with years. It's not a thing to do with resolutions. It has to do with me. 2022 isn't going to fix everything. I'm not going to fix everything in my life. But this is one thing that I want to get more in touch with, and I want to improve, at least. If I can't fix it, I can improve it. Always, you know? I'm sounding so pretentious, but that's a vibe, you know? I wrote this big, like, monologue in my notes. I didn't even notice it, but I'm basically like, time, let's take that out of there. Basically, if you want to improve something, there's nothing you can do but try it. Like, just confront it, stare every day in its face and be like, this is what's gonna happen, or this is what I'm gonna try to happen. But what's most importantly is I'm not gonna let what doesn't happen get me down. I'm just gonna keep going, and that can be the hardest thing to do in the world. But it's what I want to do. It's what I want to do. I said that twice. I was going to elaborate on it, but then I just didn't. I know I am a good writer. I know that without the validation of others. And I know I love what I do. And I just want to... I think I said what I needed to say. I don't need that last sentence. I don't need a very impacting point to drive this home. This isn't an English essay. Honestly, could have been though. Oh, what? I kind of set it up like one too. I had intro, I had my points, and then my conclusion. Well, okay, that's just an essay format. This is a video essay, I guess, then. And I didn't make it too long. If you stuck with me, thank you. It's probably mostly my family, but you know, love you guys. I've been doing this a lot. To everyone, to random people, I'll just be like, finish the heart. So, you know, finish the heart. Yay. Okay, bye. Have a nice day.